Section 14 of the Expedition of Humphry Clinker. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Expedition of Humphry Clinker by Tobias Smollett. Section 14. To Miss Letty Willis at Gloucester. Hotwell, April 21st. My dear Letty, I did not intend to trouble you again till we should be settled at Bath, but having the occasion of Jarvis, I could not let it slip, especially as I have something extraordinary to communicate. Oh, my dear companion, what shall I tell you? For several days past there was a Jew-looking man that plied at the wells with a box of spectacles, and he always eyed me so earnestly that I began to be very uneasy. At last he came to our lodgings at Clifton, and lingered about the door, as if he wanted to speak to somebody. I was seized with an odd kind of fluttering, and begged Win to throw herself in his way. But the poor girl has weak nerves, and was afraid of his beard. My uncle, having occasion for new glasses, called him upstairs, and was trying a pair of spectacles, when the man, advancing to me, said in a whisper, "Oh, gracious, what do you think?" he said. "I'm Wilson." His feature struck me at that very moment. It was Wilson, sure enough, but so disguised that it would have been impossible to know him, if my heart had not assisted in the discovery. I was so surprised and so frightened that I fainted away, but soon recovered, and found myself supported by him on the chair, while my uncle was running about the room with the spectacles on his nose, calling for help. I had no opportunity to speak to him, but looks were sufficiently expressive. He was paid for his glasses, and went away. Then I told Win who he was, and sent her after him to the pump room, where she spoke to him, and begged him in my name to withdraw from the place, that he might not incur the suspicion of my uncle or my brother if he did not want to see me die of terror and vexation. The poor youth declared, with tears in his eyes, that he had something extraordinary to communicate, and asked if she would deliver a letter to me, but this she absolutely refused, by my order. Finding her obstinate in her refusal, he desired she would tell me that he was no longer a player, but a gentleman, in which character he would very soon avow his passion for me, without fear of censure or reproach. Nay, he even discovered his name and family, which, to my great grief, the simple girl forgot, in the confusion occasioned by her being seen talking to him by my brother, who stopped her on the road, and asked what business he had with that rascally Jew. She pretended she was cheapening a stay-hook, but was thrown into such a quandary that she forgot the most material part of the information, and when she came home went into an hysteric fit of laughing. This transaction happened 3 days ago, during which he has not appeared, so that I suppose he has gone. Dear Letty, you see how fortune takes pleasure in persecuting your poor friend. If you should see him at Gloucester, or if you have seen him, and know his real name and family, pray keep me no longer in suspense. And yet, if he is under no obligation to keep himself longer concealed, and has a real affection for me, I should hope he will, in a little time, declare himself to my relations. Sure, if there is nothing unsuitable in the match, they won't be so cruel as to thwart my inclinations. Oh, what happiness would then be my portion! I can't help indulging the thought, and pleasing my fancy with such agreeable ideas, which, after all, perhaps, will never be realized. But why should I despair? Who knows what will happen? We set out for Bath to-morrow, and I'm almost sorry for it, as I begin to be in love with solitude, and this is a charming romantic place. The air is so pure, the downs are so agreeable, the firs in full blossom, the ground enamelled with daisies, and primroses, and cowslips, all the trees bursting into leaves, and the hedges already clothed with their vernal livery, the mountains covered with flocks of sheep, and tender bleating wanton lambkins playing, frisking, and skipping from side to side. The gloughs resound with the notes of blackbird, thrush, and linnet. All day long sweet Philomel pours forth her ravishingly delightful song. Then, for variety, we go down to the nymph of Bristol Spring, where the company is assembled before dinner. So good-natured, so free, so easy, and there we drink the water so clear, so pure, so mild, so charmingly mawkish. There the fun is so cheerful and reviving, the weather so soft, the walk so agreeable, the prospect so amusing, and the ships and boats going up and down the river, close under the windows of the pump room, afford such an enchanting variety of moving pictures as require a much abler pen than mine to describe. To make this place a perfect paradise to me, nothing is wanting but an agreeable companion and sincere friend, such as my dear Miss Willis hath been, and I hope still will be, to her ever faithful Lydia Melford. Direct for me, still under cover, to win, and Jarvis will take care to convey it safe. Adieu. End of section 14.